this works. All right, we're recording. So this is just going to be a live Q&A. If you guys have any other questions as we're going, you can type them in the chat, or you guys can talk if you want to. Either way, I'll read the question. If you put them in the chat, I'll read them so that it's not like I'm just answering random questions. All right, I got the photo. Thank you. I figured out others. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure there wasn't another question in there. Okay, how do you set up a wrap party, like casually? There was another one, tips on vendor events as well. So I'm going to kind of talk about those two things together. There are a bunch of videos on YouTube. Tiffany, her has good wrap party videos. Jade talks about them in a couple different of her videos. I think the biggest tip I can give you is talking to your friends and family, or just really anybody, and be like, hey, I'm looking to host a party, so like people can try some stuff. When works for you? When you're talking to friends and family, you kind of don't even give them like an option. Does that make sense? You're just like, hey, when works for you? I need help, launching my business or whatever. And then when you first do get started, or even if you haven't done a party with your upline yet, get with them and just like book, whether it's an online party, an in-person party. If you guys are close enough, do an in-person party together. And if you guys have any tips, like if you guys want to share any of your tips on here, just feel free, go for it. I think the best way to book parties is at other events. So like if you have one wrap party, book more parties while you have that party going on, because you already have people in front of you. And if you're like, oh my gosh, like when do you want to host a party? They're not going to be like, oh, I'm not hosting a party for you, because you're face to face. They're going to host a party for you. So that's a good way to do it. Let's think. If you offer to wrap people for free, if they host a party for you and have 5 people show up, I mean, you're going to still be making wrap cash, because they're going to have other friends and family that are coming. So it pays to just be like, oh, I'll wrap you for free if you host this party for me. Other ways, I think not calling it like a wrap party, calling it like a sample or a testing party, and letting them know that they can like try the exfoliating peel, try the defining gel. At the party that me and Alyssa and James and Kayla and Bethany did, we kind of did it all together, and we just like made it super chill. Like we ate food. There's a live on all of our pages if you want to go watch how we did it. I put a little bit of exfoliating peel on everybody's hand, so they got to feel the difference between right here on this hand and right here on this hand. A girl got to try the stretch mark cream. We had the cleanser sitting out. We had all different kinds of greens, the energy drinks, so people could taste test those. I think it makes it, when people have the products in front of them and they can smell them and taste them and look at the texture even, or smell the chocolate shake. Hello, have you smelt it? Like, how do you not buy it if you smell it? You can't not buy it. So, and just like letting people, like, even when you smell the cleanser, you're like, oh my gosh, it smells so fresh and awesome, and I just want to use it. And it's just being able to touch and feel and whatever, you know what I mean? So, and it will help if your upline is there with you, because then they can bring maybe some of the stuff that you don't have. One tip that we found out at the party is, we tried to go through, where is it? You get all this cool stuff in your kit. If you have an old party pad, you have these, or an old kit, you have like the old party pads, and some of these, whatever. Where is, oh, right in front of me. We tried to go through all of this, and like, I like how the new party pad is set up, but don't go through every single product. You just don't, you kind of lose people. I would pick a few of your favorites and talk about those, and then let people look through it themselves while you're eating. And then a cool game that I heard is, is Alyssa on here? She explains it better than I do. No, of course she's not. It was a game, and it was like, write down so many different products in under a minute, and whoever wrote down like the most uses they could have for a product or something like that, or the products in the catalog, and then it was like, how many people do you know that could make some extra money? So like making a game out of it. And so while you're, you know, eating or whatever, they can go through and write down like how many different products they think that they would use and why they would use them. And then if there's stuff that, you know, they're going to come up with questions themselves, and then you can go over that. But you don't need to go through every single product that we have, because the ones that people just are not interested in, like if they know that they're interested in a certain couple of products, you're going to kind of lose them when you're like explaining the other 43 products that we have. And then at our party, we had like the diffuser going. So right away, people are like, oh my gosh, what is that? What's that smell? That smells so good. It smells so citrusy. I'm like, that's our boom. Let me tell you about it. Like, we just made it so chill and so fun. If you guys have any specific questions while I'm talking, like I said, just ask them in the chat. And then I just told my story. And it was like not a super long drawn out, maybe it was long, but you know, I just told the basic version of my story, and it got a lot of people interested. So really, parties, that's how we did parties. Those are the few tips I have on that. And vendor events kind of go the same. I think vendor events, it's a little more difficult because you have to kind of like reach out to people as they're walking by. That's my personal experience from vendor events. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me because of posting on Facebook asking me to do health and wellness nights or health and wellness fairs. I've got asked to work at an actual fair. And then like a ladies' night. There was a small business Saturday stop and shop. But all of that came from posting on social media. So these people that were already having these events. And then once I go to the event, I do like fun giveaways and stuff that people enjoy. So they always ask me back. At wrap parties and vendor events, you want to do like a wrap giveaway or some kind of giveaway because it's a really good way to get people's information. I don't know if you guys knew this, but in the eSuite document section, there's this really cool document, and it's Party Pad Notes. So this can give you like, I hope they still have this. I printed this out a long time ago. They should still have it. But this like walks you through like really good key points to talk about at a party. And then even it says on here, it says, what's your choice? Do you want to become a loyal customer and enjoy the benefits, or have the advantages of a distributor and make some extra money? So this is really helpful. This helped me at my first party. And then did I say sign-in sheet already? You should have a sign-in sheet or a giveaway or both. And those are just good ways to get, or tell people who, if you sign in on a sign-in sheet, you'll be entered into my giveaway. And that's just a really good way. You want to get people's information. You can't follow up with them if you don't get their information. And if they don't sign up on the spot, you want to follow up with them, right? So it's so important that no matter like how you do it, you get their information, especially at a vendor event. Because if these people are like, oh, I'll be right back, like they might not come back. So you need to, don't just hand them a Blitz card and be like, oh, please contact me. You have no control in that situation. Make sure you have control. So you're getting their name, their number, their Facebook, adding them on Facebook like on the spot. Don't assume that they're going to come back or assume they're going to contact you, because like I said, that's giving the control in your business to them. You want to keep the ball in your court at all times. You want to be in control. So, yeah, that's really, just be like super chill and excited no matter what kind of event you're doing. And that's all I got to say about that. Do you guys have any more questions about parties, vendor events? Anything? Get the wrap on people. Like, because once they see the results, like you don't really have to do any work after that. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I need like 49,000 of these. And you'll be like, okay, yeah, here's my website. Let me help you order. Next question. The best way to get new distributors started. Okay, so that's like one of my favorite questions because I have like the dopest system ever. I have 3 videos that I use right away. I'll put them at the bottom of this post, but I want to show you guys how easy I made my training. So you guys saw my video on text replace, and if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. Would you just look at it? Okay. So I'm going to post it on here, but I want to show you how easy it is. So I'm going to type 724. Boom. Pops up the whole link. So I'll be like, hey, here's your first video. After they get signed up, I'm like, okay, let's start your training. I do not ask them if it's a good time. I don't ask them when they're available. Like, you don't want to start their business out that way because we know that we make time for our business. So why would you start out by asking them when they have the time? Does that make sense? So right away, I'm like, okay, let's start your training. Okay, don't ask. I tell them we're starting it right now. So because even if they have to start this video and then pick it up when they have more time, that's fine because that's how we work our whole businesses. You know what I'm saying? So the first video I send is the one by Ashley Hughes, and it's the first 4 customers in their first 72 hours video. I start with this video because it goes through all the products and it talks about messaging right away. So you don't have to like teach them all about posting and being like, oh, and by the way, we message too. Like it says it right in this very first video, like to start that messaging right off of the bat. So you don't even really have to train them in that later. They're going to start doing it naturally. What's going on with this? They're going to start doing it naturally. And Ashley's taking them through every single product. So as she's taking them through the products, they're going to be like, oh, I could message this person about that. Oh, I could message this person about that. And it just, I think, gives a really natural feel to their business right away. So they're going to feel super comfortable about reaching out to people because Ashley, she just explains it super, super well. The next one I do is 3-3 rule, and it pops up this video, How to Win on Social Media, Posting for Beginners by Jade Hooper. That's kind of just the natural next step that comes to my mind. Like we went through all the products, we talked about messaging. Now we need to talk about the 3-3 rule. They need to know that they need to be posting every single day to run a successful business. So I like this video. If you have a different video that you like that talks about posting the 3-3 rule, or you want to make one yourself, go for it. This is just the one I use. And then in between each video, I'm asking them, do you have any questions? How did that video like make you feel? Like what, how are you feeling? What's going on? And, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, it's a lot of information, but it's good. I'm excited to get started. Or like, I've had girls tell me, I took a lot of notes on all the practice. I'm like, that's fantastic. That's really good. Awesome. And then if they have any other questions, you want to make sure you address that before you go and throw something else on top of it, because you're really going to confuse them. But some people are just like, I'm good. What's next? Cool. But you kind of want to like vibe with them. Like, how you feeling? How's it going? Are you all right? Because this is the point where some people are like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? What did I get involved in? So you want to make sure that you're like recognizing that they might be feeling that way and it's okay. But if they're not, just jump into the next thing. The next video I send is sealing the deal. So before these people even start talking to people, I'm going to show them how the conversations are going. I'm not waiting until they blow a conversation and then be like, oh, well, watch this video by Jade Hooper. She tells you exactly what to say. So that's the video if you haven't seen it. Sorry if you can't see that. These are all on the post. So if you need them, there they are. And I have them all text replaced. So it's just like I type like 4 little things and the whole thing pops up instead of having to go find the videos, wasting a bunch of time trying to find it, then copying and pasting it. And especially if you're training multiple people at one time, makes it so much easier. Use text replace if you have an iPhone. Please do it. I I really like how Jade makes the conversations really duplicatable in this video. Really, really like that. So now, I have my own Instagram training video. I'm not sending that right away. I think the most important thing is to get them posting, get them talking to people, get them feeling confident, get their launch party booked, whether it's online, in person, preferably in person. You guys can host wrap parties. You can do it. I believe in you. You might be scared. You probably will be scared. That's normal. Do it anyway. Getting them posting, getting them messaging, getting them on a schedule to follow up. You know, just make sure that they're doing these daily things every single day. Holy crap, I just lost that. All right, there we go. And getting them in a good group for their business as fast as you can. You know, you need to be talking to these people like every single day, all throughout the day. You know, when you first got started, you were scared, you were nervous, you had no idea what you're doing. You need to like totally understand that these people who are coming into our business have no clue about network marketing, and it's your job to keep them excited, keep them fired up, and make sure that they're learning everything that they need to learn to have a successful business. Now, that doesn't mean overwhelm them. I mean, you need to find a balance, and if you don't know where that balance is, ask for help, because there are so many other people on this team who would love to help you train somebody, whether it's upline, downline, sideline, backline, frontline, whatever. Because like I said, there is a fine line between being super supportive and teaching them everything they need to know and being super overwhelming. So, and everybody's going to train differently, every single person. So if you need help, ask for help. I need to find the questions because I totally got out of it. Oh. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Make sure you're checking up on your new distributors. And I don't just mean the first day or the second day or the third day. I mean, for like the first couple months, checking up on their page at least every other day. Because you don't know what kind of like weird habits they might pick up, or, you know, a lot of people post really well for the first month and then they kind of fall off. You want to make sure and helping them keep a clear vision. So like coming up with dreams, helping them come up with life posts, and always helping them dream bigger. That's going to be one of the, and building a relationship with them. You guys need to be building a relationship with your teams, because when you are friends with them and you enjoy working with them and you help them create a vision for their business and for their life, not only are you going to make like the best friends ever, because we all are awesome, but you're going to have the most amazing distributor retention. Whereas there's no vision, people perish. People, like, you don't want to let the vision die. I think that's one of the biggest things when you're training new distributors, and keeping your team motivated is building a relationship. And maybe they don't know what they want. Help them decide what they want. I've had so many people, I'm like, you realize you could like build a house with this business, right? Like you could build your dream house. And they're like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of that. I would love that. And their post immediately changed. And they started, like, I could like see the vision in them. But I had to help them find that vision. And that's okay, because we've been told for how long that we need to live our lives a certain way, and we can only afford this because we only went to school for this long, and blah, 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 blah. So our dreams have been minimized for so long. We don't know how to dream bigger. A lot of us really, and I don't know how to when I first started, but it's something that you learn. And I couldn't have done it without Morgan and Mallory's help, learning how to dream bigger all the time. So that's important. The best way to make life posts is, I mean, basically what I just talked about. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad I got off on that tangent and then that question got asked, because that really goes really, really well. You need to decide what you want. You need to decide what is most important to you. What dreams do you have? And how can you always be expanding on that? So I didn't just say I was going to buy a vehicle. I knew exactly what year, what model, what the tires looked like. And so my life posts were very specific. I knew that, let me think about a different one. And it's not just one thing. Like, so my dream wasn't just that car. My dream is to be debt free, to pay off all my student debt. My dream is to have like legit financial freedom where I can do whatever I want whenever I want to. And I'm getting there, and for my whole family, that my parents can just like retire and buy whatever they want and be able to go do whatever whenever they want to. What else? Pay off student debt. I need to like get my dream board out. But my point is, you always need to be like redeveloping your plan. So like, okay, I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's say you're a parent, you want to be a stay-at-home parent, you become a stay-at-home parent. So like, what's your next goal? What comes next? For me, it would be a savings account for my kids. And I don't even have kids yet, but that's one of my goals. Like, I just think like that. Like, I'm always thinking into the future. What are those other ones? You just always need to be brainstorming. Like, what else do you want? What do you want? What do you want? You're calling me. And I think it's so easy to like get into a rut and be like, well, this is my biggest goal. And so that's all you talk about. But you need to have like other goals along the way as well. Is this making sense? Is this making sense to anybody? And as you start checking off these goals off your list, like in the beginning, I was like happy to just buy groceries. Okay. We're going to run out of time. I might have to do this in 2 different Zooms, you guys. And you know, when I first was in nursing school, I was like, if I can buy a book and buy anything other than canned tuna, we good. Like that's on the dream board. That's big. If I can pay my rent without being late, like that's huge. But you need to keep dreaming bigger. So I started being able to do those things, and I could have gotten comfortable with that and been like, okay, well, I'm doing good. Like I can pay my bills. My car's not declining at the dollar menu. I can buy groceries, and I can afford gas to go home to see my family. That's great. So then my dreams got even bigger, that I was going to pay off my student debt before I left school. Well, then I ended up leaving school unexpectedly, and then my dreams changed a lot. And if I would have just remained comfortable with that first goal, I wouldn't have been a full-time wrap girl by the time I needed to be, when I needed to move into a brand new apartment while still paying on an old one with no job, no school, no degree, no money. Like, so, my dreams changed again, and your dreams are going to continue to change as your journey changes, as your story changes. You just need to sit down and brainstorm. What are your goals? What are your biggest dreams? What are the dreams that you're going to accomplish along the way, and why? Like, what's important to you? Like, this is really going to get down to like your core values. Like, what is really important to you? You know, and as my whole journey and my story has progressed, a lot of new things are coming up now. Like, I didn't know I wanted to do mission trips, but now I want It Works to start like funding mission trips that we're doing. I want to be able to go with Joel and Stephanie to Africa and like do really rad things over there. Like, that'd be super cool. Okay. I want to be able to do more charity events. I want to be able to give back more. I want to be able to do more good work in that way that I didn't know I wanted before, but I'm like really happy that I've decided this now. But like I said, it's just going to keep changing, but you need to like really open up your brain and realize what's important to you, and then just like start like journal. You need to journal. That's what you need to do. Journaling has helped me so much. And I think if you're writing down all the things that are important to you and you're really brainstorming, like, don't just like have one goal, but like break it down into like a bunch of different things that you could be just super happy with. All right. I've just got off on a tangent. Let's get back to the list. I'm finding it. Here we go. For real. My phone. I apologize, guys. Here we go. Oh, and then Instagram pops up. That's just fabulous. How do you deal with those who are not working? I don't. Like, I train people the best that I can, and if they don't want it, you can lead a horse to water all dang day. If they don't drink, that's on them. All right? You're going to enroll people who just don't even act like they care. It's because they're scared or they don't see the vision. And you are the messenger, not the message. It's not your fault if they don't see it. If you do everything you can to train these people and to try and get them on the right track because you know this business is going to help them and change their life, but they just don't want to see it, that's not your fault, nor is it your problem. There are going to be people who you enroll who just pick it up and they run like Usain Bolt towards Diamond, and it's just awesome. And then there's going to be people that you sign up that just like never even get started. And it just happens. And it's kind of luck of the draw. You don't know how they're going to be before you sign them up. And you just kind of deal. You just kind of roll with the punches. How do you do? Oh, she's giving me all the, thank you so much. You know what? If they're not working, they're just not working. Find new people, find people who have the fire, find people who are ready to run with you and be like, like legit, are you ready? Work with your leaders that you already have. Get them fired up, refill your chart if you have to. And run with your runners. That's when you're really going to get to where you want to go, is when you're running with your runners. Don't spend all your time trying to revive the dead. It's just wasted energy. If you trained them and you gave them everything that they needed, which you have if you're on this team, because our team page rocks. If they can't be disciplined enough to go after it, I mean, like I said, not your problem. And you don't need to be wasting your time trying to convince somebody that they're worthy and that they deserve this and that they can be good at this if they don't want to see that for themselves. What does my daily schedule look like? A hot mess express. I wake up in the morning and I answer all of my Instagram messages, and I like sleep next to my planner. So, and this kind of goes with how do I stay organized, okay? I carry this with me everywhere. As soon as somebody responds to me, I write their name down, unless they're like, no thanks, I'm not interested. Even if they say like, not right now, I'm like, well, not right now doesn't mean not ever. So I'm going to write you down. I'm going to follow up with you. So I wake up in the morning, I respond to all my Instagram messages that I got while I was sleeping and my Facebook messages. My team is you guys are usually texting me. So I'm like, really, really fast. So I kind of answer all my notifications. And like I said, I have my planner right next to me. So as I'm doing that, I can keep track of my planner. And then I get up, and this is very important. This is like the most important part of my daily routine. I make a cup of coffee and I sit for 10 minutes and do nothing. 10 minutes of nothing. Because, and my therapist told me this, she said, when you just like, sometimes I do this first, and this is what she recommends, but if I don't at least get back to my messages, I can't enjoy 10 minutes of silence. But I drink my cup of coffee. I like to sit outside when it's not too cold. And I'll sit, I'll read my Bible, I'll do my daily time with God, I'll journal, but just for 10-ish minutes. I don't take 3 hours and then get to work. Like, I take like 10, 20 minutes. And I really just enjoy myself for 10 minutes. My therapist said it's like a really good way to just start your day, because when you just get up and you dive right into all the craziness, that makes your day crazy all day. If you like take a minute and like calm yourself in the morning, your day is just going to run a lot more smoothly. Especially someone who has a lot of anxiety, like this has helped me a lot. We have less than a minute, so I'm going to kind of finish this thought and then we can get back on. And I'll record the second one as well. And then I kind of just, my alarms go off every hour, and every hour I follow. I unfollow if I have to. I message new people. I re-message old people. And I keep track of it all in my planner. And then if there's any requests from the team, I will do training videos. I'll schedule calls. Every day is kind of different, but I'm doing the same things every single hour as far as post, message, follow up, unfollow, keep track in my planner. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording.